right?
Hello, YouTube. Welcome to episode 22 of the Witch Moon Vale.
Hello.
The party last time attacked the mine where the bandits were hiding out. After defeating him, the party found Catharn's journal, which contained a multitude of information about the Vale and his plans. The party then took a wagon full of refined metals and set off home to Hammerfast. Arriving back in town on the 24th of Sowert, with the impending tournament of Grumpsh on the 10th of Moonvale. The party has the opportunity to meet some new faces as people from around the world are pouring in to take part in this tournament. Because the champion of Grumpsh for the year will be crowned as the victor of this tournament. But yes, you guys have about 2 weeks until the tournament.
No.
And yeah, you guys pulled into town. Let me flip you guys over to the town map, because we haven't been on that for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh, yeah.
Been a while.
Are we coming in at that same, main gate?
Well, that's the only way in.
Fair enough.
You could also come
on
in.
The map somewhere?
You could also come in from the south side.
We're not already on here somewhere, are we?
Probably.
Yes, we are. Top right.
I don't think I would be.
Oh yeah, Thorgrim would not
Thorgrim's
be.
on there.
Yeah, I have to get rid of Nico. Where are we coming?
In the market district, which is the small little quadrant down
On
at
the
bottom.
left? Okay.
And you guys now have a wagon, so we can drop a wagon for you guys.
Alright.
Was there not a wagon already there?
There is. That'll function.
We're coming in at the southern entrance?
It doesn't matter. Wherever you guys want to.
Southern entrance.
Oh, I didn't even see that side.
New guards.
Did you guys decapitate the bandits this time?
No.
Only one of them?
I might have decapitated another one.
Oh yeah, you did, but you fed him to Horsey on the trip.
Yeah, I did.
That's right. Okay. Okay.
See, there we go.
So you guys arrive back in town. The guards greet you and say the guard captain has been expecting you.
Who has he? Sorry.
Wow, they really threw him.
I know. I'm sorry, Dan.
You okay today, Dan?
What?
Nothing.
Did
Shh.
I miss
Pretend
something?
like nothing happened.
It's
No.
all right.
I must have missed something.
Never.
So you guys are pulled into the, I guess, assume your guys are going to the guard captain?
Sure.
Yeah.
So you guys go to the guard house, where the Lord Commander Tenkar Stone Shields at, and he greets you and goes, "So how was your expedition?"
Good.
It was rather successful.
That is great to hear. Our raids on the smaller bases were also successful.
Oh, good.
Excellent.
Excellent.
We believe that we have wiped out at least 90% of the threat within the Vale, and any remaining have fled to the winds.
Good. Yeah, we had a successful thing, and we also gathered some relatively valuable intel. Looks like they had been tracking our whereabouts and tracking us. Most of us, I should say. We have a couple of new travel partners, and hadn't spoken much on them yet.
A couple. I'm not that big.
But he means Baston.
Well, you guys joined before you left town.
I was like, yeah, you were with him before.
Thorgrim's the only.
just
I'm
mean-
the only one who didn't leave with you guys.
I just mean new to the bandits.
Yep.
Bandits hadn't written about Pasha yet.
Oh, that is true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because Pasha's a different kind of sicko.
I'm elusive.
No, but
I'm not a sicko. I'm a wolf.
He'll step forward and greet you, Thorgrim. He's like, "Oh, another fellow dwarf. Where do you hail from, friend?"
Oh, I'm from Idenstone. And I'm speaking in Dwarven too.
Okay. He'll be
Pasha
replying in
will
Dwarven.
listen.
Thorgrim Silverborn at your service.
Ooh, the Silverborns.
Oh, you've heard of us.
Yes. My family. I'm the what did I say his name was? Stone Shields. He is a branch of the Stone Shield family, which you would actually probably know. When Hammerfast was founded, a branch of their family came here to help found it. So a lot of these dwarves did come from Idenstone. They've just set up lives here. So, but yeah.
How long ago did they come here? It's been like a while,
It's
right?
been like probably 450 plus years.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's a couple generations later. But he understands that his family came from Idenstone.
Yeah, I knew some of your clan back home. Good people.
It's good to hear. I'm glad we've managed to stay strong over there. But I guess you guys are expecting payment, of course, right?
That'd be good.
Yes,
Um,
we are.
He'll motion for one of the other guards in the room to run and go collect it, and he comes back with a bag of 500 gold. He plops it down, says,
Each?
"No."
I'm just kidding.
Here is your reward, and he also pulls out another 100 gold and hands that to you as well, saying, "This is for any additional expenses that you incurred during the expedition."
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, like lots, bunches. Those bunches.
Well, I should be thanking you, because you are the ones that brought to light there was a spy among our midst, as well as dealing with the head of the snake, as things said.
We fought a snake? I'm sorry, I don't think we dealt with the snake.
The bandits. They're snakes, and you cut off the head.
They were the snakes in the metaphorical grass.
Yes.
Sorry, Common's not my main language.
Got it.
First language, rather.
But he'll be like, yes, you're free to enter town, do what you wish. We have lots of visitors coming into town over the next couple weeks. The Tournament of Grumpsh is scheduled for a fortnight out. So expect new faces. The guards will be out in force because of all the influx of visitors.
Speaking of that, I look at Tenzin. Should we tell him what we learned?
I think we will be needing a meeting with Madame Goldspinner. Part of the intel we gathered, I think would best be shared with her.
I can arrange for that. It will probably not be until tomorrow. She's very busy at the moment. But
Understandable.
But I'm sure it's not that time sensitive.
It has to do with the tournament.
Yeah, it has to do with the tournament. So the sooner the better. The more preparation time we can have, the better.
Okay.
So just at her earliest convenience.
This
Okay.
guy, who is he exactly? Like, what's his position?
This guy?
Guard captain.
This
He's
is
the guard captain?
He is one of the 4 people in charge of the city.
But what's his...
He is in charge of the city guard.
Okay.
So the city guard is Lord Commander Tenkar. There
that's him?
is yes.
Okay.
The High Master, who is the head of it, Marcinda Goldspinner. She is also the head of the what is it? The Trade Guild, Merchants Guild.
Trade Guild, Merchants Guild, potato.
The Lore Guild is Lore Master Geld Seekingstone. You met him in your last job. He was the one that hired you to go through and find his missing scholar. And then Master Artisan Frelda Blackshield is the head of the Craft Guild. And she just is a high-ranking member of the... Basically, there's the 4 ruling council, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So he's one of the 4 people that rule over the city, essentially.
Alright, well, I mean, if you think we should wait, then...
He's like, I will pass the information on, let her know that it is time urgent, and she will probably get to you tomorrow.
And his title is Commander, is that right?
Lord Commander.
Lord Commander, and Lord Commander, you're more than welcome to be part of that meeting. I don't know if I've had the privilege of making your acquaintance before, but
he was the one that hired you to go to the monastery.
Oh, so perfect. So then I say you are more than welcome to join in this meeting, as well as the other leaders amongst the city. I think this information may be
it'd
useful.
be best if they were all probably present.
Yeah, I think this information is that necessary.
Okay. Do you think the one in charge of the tournament should be present as well? The priest
I need to read that book. Hold on.
Baldreg Skullbreaker. He is the priest of Grumpsh. He is the one that is in charge of the tournament.
I think that's something we can certainly discuss in the meeting if we feel it necessary to loop him in afterwards. I'm more than happy, but I think at first let's keep this as close to the chest as we can.
Perhaps the smaller groups might be better than large group. You say you had problem with a rat in your midst? You don't know if you've exterminated all of them truly, so it would probably be better if you only told small groups. So if we do find out there is another insider who is giving outside information, then it'll be easier to sort out who it is.
Can I roll insight while we're doing this as well, just to make sure that he's like chill and on the level. Like
Yeah,
I trust
go
the
ahead.
gold spinners. Like I've got a relationship there.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure that this person is a trustworthy individual as well.
yeah, totally. Insight 16. Yeah, you feel like he's everything he's. You get a good feeling. Like you haven't had an issue with him. His motivation is to protect the city and its citizens.
Okay.
Which is why he originally sent you out after the bandits the first time. He was actually a little disgusted when you guys showed up with 40 plus heads, but
I can't imagine
Why?
why.
And Lord Commander, I know that there was the whole mishap with the heads last time we were
yes,
last time we returned to town.
which resulted in the death of a citizen in a very brutal manner.
Yes, and needless to say, we felt responsible and took care of the situation as best as we could. But no heads this time. We
Yep, we didn't
we have
bring back
mostly
any
moved on
heads.
from that.
Yep, totally.
Okay.
I love that Dearden is like, absolutely, yes, like just like right.
There was no heads brought back. That doesn't mean they weren't decapitated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And I think as far as Tenzin knows, no heads were severed.
Yeah, we weren't there when they took them.
Yeah. So he'll be like, I would probably recommend going and figuring out lodging. Because with the influx of people visiting, there's soon going to be a deficit of rooms.
Mhm.
Out of character question.
Yes.
Sorry if I interrupted you. Do we have the Vardo? Or did that disappear?
The Vardo is still in storage.
Oh right, we left it.
Mm-hmm.
I am a genius. Okay.
You guys also have the new wagon full of metal, which you can also sell.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was a wee bit distracted.
It was 150 gold each, right? If it was 600 total.
600 divided by 5? It's 120. Or
5 ways?
there's 5 of you. Or 4 of you.
Yeah,
4.
4 of us.
Sorry.
Currently there's 4, yeah.
Yes, sorry, there's 4.
Soon we'll have to start splitting things in 5, but not yet.
My brain just defaulted to 5.
Yeah, it's 150 each.
Cool.
If it makes you feel better, the member that decided that we should cut off all their heads, they're no longer with us.
Oh yes, your small little pixie friend.
Yeah,
Also, I think you may have been familiar with our owl friend, Nico. He also had to depart.
Oh yeah.
All of your small friends are dropping off.
Like flies.
I would he points at Thorgrim, goes, keep an eye out.
Wink.
Nope.
I nudged
You're the
Thorgrim
same
in
height
the
as
side.
me.
Well, you're the smallest one out of the group.
I mean, maybe height-wise.
Tenzin is just like
a twig.
He definitely weighs more than me.
I was like,
he's saying like stop
I
with
could
his, like,
pick
the
up
hand,
this
like, at
one
his
with
neck.
my pinky, and
Yeah,
I'm pointing at Tenzin.
He's jokingly. You can tell that he's jokingly playing with you. But yes.
And Tenzin doesn't get it because he just spent like 45 minutes in the midst of a battle getting chastised about like sneaking.
What's funny is Tenzin never noticed that I was fucking with him.
No, he never would have.
So.
I love it.
But yeah. So you guys are free to go. Thank you for your service. If there's we'll have a meeting probably tomorrow. If she can free up her schedule. But I'll insist it's urgent.
in the past I have stayed at the Coach and Pony and have been able to get in contact with my fellow compatriots here fairly easily. So if we are needed, I can be found at the Coach and Pony.
Wow.
Is that the nicest inn here?
Oh, I just lost Dearden.
Somebody did.
Sorry, what did you say?
Was that the nicest inn here?
I literally
I
DJ
believe
can't
so.
understand the accent.
Okay, so we're
It's
gonna
at the inn.
the
Oh,
Is
Coach
it
and Pony.
The
Yes.
nicest inn.
It is
Oh,
it is probably one of the nicer inns in town. Yes.
It's certainly one of the nicer ones. I don't know if I would call it the nicest, but
It's
I
the
do
one
happen
that your
to have
guys'
a-
friend worked for, the one that
Yeah.
passed away.
Yes, we had the friend whose mission that we were on this for. He worked at this establishment, and the owner of the establishment we have a fairly good rapport with.
Okay. But yeah, no, your orc friend who died a couple weeks ago. He was employed there. As a basically a buggy boy kind of chauffeur.
He ran the coach.
Yep. So
And the
okay,
pony.
so you guys are heading into town.
Yeah. Should we sell the iron and copper, or?
Oh yes, I certainly think we should.
Don't see why not.
I'm new in town. Where's the smith?
There is a lot of them in the craft ward.
Perfect.
It's a town of it's a town of dwarves. Just look left or right, you'll find one.
I look left and I look right and I find 4 dwarves.
You look at me.
Okay. So yeah, so you guys haul into the craft ward, which is at basically the farthest end.
At the anvil.
The anvil, yes.
Okay.
Right in this area.
Yeah.
I think that'll pull everyone over there. This area here.
Oh, Tasha's already here.
What the heck?
Yep.
Nah,
How did you get here so fast?
he's not here.
Yeah,
That's
no,
not
you
possible.
guys. You guys can flag down some of the artisans in the square, and they can direct you to some of the merchants and stuff that are interested in buying. And why don't we get 5 persuasion checks to sell this metal?
Problem.
I'll do it because I'm probably the one who would sell it.
Okay.
And I'm actually not bad at
help with it.
persuasion.
What were you gonna say, Mia?
I can't move my tokens.
Oh, that's a problem.
Do you drop a new one?
I can,
Drop
but
a
I
new one.
can't get rid of them either.
I
Okay.
deleted it.
You said you were helping me, Tenzin?
Yeah, I can help with.
Would they give me
those, 'cause
advantage, Dan?
Are you proficient in persuasion, Tenzin?
Yeah.
I am. Oh.
Both of you are?
Yeah.
I'm proficient. I don't know if he is.
Okay. If you're proficient,
I am,
Tenzin,
yes.
you can give him advantage, yes.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, then
Okay.
you can have advantage then.
So
So
let's
19,
see, 19, 16,
16, 20, 13,
ugh, 13,
and
8.
Okay.
Plus 5.
Okay. For selling all of the trade goods, let me see something real quick.
I would keep a little bit of iron just for myself. Like 4 bars of it or something, not much.
Need to make sure my HP is auto rolling.
Okay. You guys end up bringing in another 5. About 400 gold. 400 gold worth of iron and copper.
Alright, so here's another 100 each.
So at least 200 now?
You got 250 total from this last job with selling everything.
Yeah. Fix that.
So sorry. 1 more 100, including.
Yeah,
not
you got
including...
an additional 100 just now.
Alright, so 2.
Selling stuff.
And you guys now have another wagon.
Oh, so we have 3 wagons?
2 wagons.
Oh,
2 wagons.
so the one that we brought back.
Yes.
Okay.
So the one you brought back laden with
the
the metal, and then the Vardo.
She might come back for that. That's kind of his. I can build us another one if you want, or get it commissioned.
Well, you guys have a wagon base, so you could turn that into one.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Is,
whatever works.
is there anybody around
sleep
here
on
who's
a
good
hammock.
with woodworking?
Oh yes, the craft guilds has all manner of artisans of all types.
You know what? I'm gonna go take care of that right now. Why don't you guys just have some fun? Do whatever you want. I'll be back.
Well, alright.
Well, I think we should get that lodging set up. He said it was gonna go quick.
Oh, you go ahead and take care of that. I don't sleep in the buildings.
Well, you drink in the buildings.
Of course, that is where you find the booze.
So, okay, we're going to jump over to Scott now, or to Argo.
Yay!
Argo, what are you doing here?
Who, me?
Okay, Argo, you walk into the Coach and Pony after arriving in town. You've gone through basically the 20-question interrogation as to why you're arriving in town kind of thing by the town guards when you get in there. And then you're directed to 3 different establishments, and you decide to check out the Coach and Pony because you're... Yeah. So you arrive at the Coach and Pony.
All right.
Go ahead and drop your token.
All right. Give me just a minute.
Oh, you're fine.
Token. Oh, I am zoomed way the hell out.
So was I to zoom in.
There we are. And I go straight to the bar, and I'm going to get a drink.
Okay.
Any whiskey here?
Of course.
I would love a small glass of whiskey.
Small glass of whiskey. Are you in need of a room as well, sir?
Yes, please, if you have one available.
I still have a multitude of rooms. Most of the current competition is staying at the lower cost. Lower cost out in the Gate Ward. So.
Oh, all right. Well, are there any staying here at your inn?
At the moment, I have two, I think, that are here for the tournament. But, yeah.
All right. Well, I would love a room.
Okay, she'll give you the prices. It's a gold piece a night.
All right. I hand over a gold piece.
Okay.
And how much for the whiskey?
She'll be like, do you want a tab or do you want to pay up front?
I better pay up front, just in case the whiskey hits me and I forget to pay.
Okay.
And I smile at her.
Are you wanting any food with it, or are you just wanting...
Yeah, some supper. Do you have some stew?
I have some roasted boar right now. And some fish.
I'll take some roasted boar.
She'll be like, if you want to, 6 silver.
Oh, I don't have any gold. I have 0 money.
Oh, here, let me message you how much gold you actually have. Sorry, I forgot to do that.
I'm broke. No wonder I'm here to compete in the tournament. I need the money.
Okay, I just sent you a private message with your gold.
Okay.
You can divide that up between coins how you want.
Okay. I'll load that up. Here I am. Okay. Got it. And how much total?
She said six silver pieces. So 1 gold and 6 silver. Ooh, that looks really good.
Yay.
Okay. Yeah, so a little while later, she slaps your nice thick piece of roast boar and some veggies in front of you and pours you your whiskey. When you hear the door swing open and a human male, a dwarven male, a female Goliath, and a wolf. Did Dearden come with you guys immediately, or he went off on his errand, right?
Yeah, he went to take care of the cart,
Okay.
I think.
Okay, so
He said be
Dearden...
right back, so
Okay.
it can be... Yeah, he can probably come in.
Okay.
He knows what we're going.
Okay. Your character just showed up. Okay. She's grabbing paint real quick. She'll be right back. Okay.
I nod and I lift my glasses to the newcomers. I just kind of smile and take a sip.
I'll give him a nod.
I bow, subtle bow. And then I ask, while sort of walking back towards the rooms, I ask, I forget her name every time I come to this place.
Her name is Varda.
Varda, is my usual room available?
She'll be like, actually it is.
Perfect. I will pay up front for the week. And I'll put like 7 coins in a bag and I'll just like toss it back to her.
Okay. She'll be like, thank you, good sir.
Yeah, how do you do?
Head
You have
towards
any
my room
other...
to set down my particulars.
There is still the tavern here is still mostly available. The cheaper taverns always fill up first around this time of year.
I would like to reserve a room as well for it. What did he do? A week? Do a week. How long is till the tournament?
A fortnight,
2 weeks,
so
I think.
2 weeks.
I'll do it for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Why the hell not?
Cool.
I'm speaking only in Dwarven to her, by the way.
Okay.
She's a dwarf, so I assume she speaks Dwarven.
Argo, what languages do you speak? Or do you speak Dwarvish?
I'll amend mine to 2 weeks as well. I had forgotten that it was 2 weeks.
Okay.
I only speak Common and Draconic.
Okay.
So I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Well, you understand Dwarvish, like that it's Dwarvish. You don't understand what it is, so.
Okay.
She'll be like, "Oh, are you planning on competing in the tournament?" As she speaks to you, Thorgrim.
I suppose I don't. I mean, it depends on what my companion Dungeon's up to, but.
Oh, you're
I don't really fight for Grumsh if I am going to fight. He clearly is a cleric of Moradin.
Yeah, she's like, you don't have to fight for Grumsh to compete in his tournament.
Well, I mean, I'll fight, but
As you probably will know, having traveled here, this city was once a battleground for the worshippers of Grumsh and the worshippers of Morden. And Morden's followers fell. So this is a site of great victory for Grumsh. And
I hear the name Grumsh several times, and my ears perk up. And I say, Grumsh, you're not planning on participating in the tournament of Grumsh, are you?
Yes, I believe we are.
Are you interested in joining my team? It currently consists of me.
Oh, I don't know actually the particulars. Do we need a team? Tenzin, do you know anything about this tournament?
You know, I don't know either.
Argo, you would know that the group tournament requires a team of 5 members to enter, and then there's also a solo combat. So you can enter both.
Okay.
They're held on different days.
Okay. I say, well, you could join a team. Or you could just fight one-on-one. But if you wanted to join a team, you're welcome to join mine.
You're a team of 1.
So far. What do you say?
Well, I can't speak for everyone, but I mean...
Pasha, you would be here.
Okay.
I feel like I would just be wandering back after setting my pack and locking my door and such.
What is he wearing? Like, can you describe him?
You see a simple-looking man, human, wearing plate mail with a dingy cloak and a gray cloak and a brown tunic over it, and some hard brown boots. Just very simply dressed, but with some decent armor, and carrying a long sword at his hip and a bow and arrow in a quiver at his side, usually strapped over his back. But Argo's sitting down and relaxing, and he doesn't want anything hanging off his back right now. So I've just kind of set it on the floor next to me.
What is the quality of your armor?
It's pretty dirty. It doesn't seem magical or anything by any means.
No. But is it good armor or is it?
But it is good armor. Yeah.
Okay. Thorgrim will he's not looking at you. Shut up. He's not really looking at you. He's more looking at your equipment.
All right, that's fair.
And I think we could work together.
I would not be opposed.
All right. Looks like we have ourselves a party.
Would you be against the fighting with a wolf?
I like wolves just fine.
How does that work? Does he count as a teammate?
Second, I have outside problems to deal with.
Wolf is talking.
What was the question?
I said, would the wolf count as a teammate?
That is a good question.
Familiars count.
He's not a familiar. He's a companion, right?
I wonder.
I mean, I guess mechanically they're the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm sure.
But in terms of rules of the tournament,
yeah,
maybe it is, maybe not.
The reason Thorgrim was checking out your armor, you would notice he is wearing exquisitely crafted adamantine plate, and his helmet has like a little miniature anvil built into it.
An anvil or angel?
Yeah, an anvil.
Oh, interesting. I turn to him and I say, "Is that an anvil in your helmet?
Oh,
like, is it visible or?"
Yeah, it's literally on his helmet. Like there is an anvil on top of his head.
Nice. So tell me that anvil. Is it functional? Do you use that to craft and repair?
No, this one's more of a ceremonial. And
All
I'll
right.
hold up my holy symbol. I follow Moradin. I'm also a bit of a smith. I was looking at your armor and I see some. It's had quite a bit of use.
I've been around. I've had this armor almost my whole life, so it's seen a fair bit of use. It saved my life plenty times.
If you ever, need some work done, just let me know. I haven't been able to work on anything in quite a while, actually.
All right, will do. I appreciate it.
And if we're going to be joining forces, I think an exchanging of pleasantries in order. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Tenzin. And
Tenzin?
I bow.
I bow my head. I am Argo. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I am Thorgrim Silverborn.
Thorgrim, pleasure.
And I'll shake his hand if he.
I shake hands.
Yeah, same. I will as well.
And,
sorry. Can I get a drink?
Yeah, she'll come over and she'll pour you probably some Dwarven whiskey.
Yeah.
I will
no,
also
he would go
take a
for
drink.
an ale, probably.
An ale? Okay.
Yeah, Dwarven ale.
Sounds good.
Pasha will also take a drink.
Or she'll also ask if you guys are hungry.
Well,
Their boar is rather tasty.
Ooh, boar. Aye, I'll have a plate of that.
Okay. She'll charge you all, I think it was 6 silver pieces for the meal and a drink.
Yeah. That's what she charged me.
Okay. How much was the room?
It was
a golden night.
A golden night, so 14 gold.
I'll give her 15 gold.
Okay.
by the way,
14 and I pay for a meal.
I am, my name is Pasha, and this is, my companion, Bastin.
Pasha and Bastion, you said?
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
You're not on the map, by the way, Pasha.
I put this is so.
We
it is a
switched.
pleasure
At least
to
I
meet you.
can't see her. Yeah, we're in the
We
tavern map.
switched maps. Okay.
Sorry, we went to the
she's
smaller, closed-in
aiming.
tavern.
Yeah.
Give me a minute to catch up.
Which room did you
ambushed.
take, Tenzin?
This one, first room.
Okay, I'll probably take the one next to it then. Just gonna put this little circle.
And Pasha will not ask for a room. It is a pleasure to meet you. I am eager to fight with you.
I am eager to fight with you as well. And you too, Bastion.
Aston will kind of like it'll be like a puff of air, but it'll kind of like there'll be like a nod of acknowledgement.
Can I pet him?
You could try.
Did you put that dot by yourself there, Joe, or was that?
I put it there.
Are you asking
Just a mark
Pasha,
over him,
or are
fine.
you asking me?
Because I'm gonna forget.
I am asking Pasha.
Okay. Eston is actually your family.
Oh, well, thank you.
So it is up to him whether he lets you pet you or not. You can attempt, but as he does not know you, he probably will not let you.
I hold out my hand to Bastion.
Kind of like sniff you, but then I'll kind of like back up a bit. He's not like aggressive, but he's like doesn't trust you.
Fair enough. I grew up on a farm. I know plenty about animals. I hope I warm up to him eventually.
Oh,
See,
he'll warm up quickly and all like scratch his ears, won't you, buddy?
yeah, Baston will be totally okay with this. And
There
he
we
like start to put himself kind of like in between, just like kind of like watching me and Thorgrim. He's grown fond.
Very good.
He's a good doggy.
Okay.
Big dog.
Has Dearden returned to his computer? I know he was BRB.
I do not know.
He's
Although
typing.
since okay, then possibly.
Oh, okay.
Should we
It's
grab
still
a
out of
table
commission.
then?
Okay. As soon as it's ready, just let me know, and we will do your little side and then get you in here.
Should we grab a table or?
But yes, that would probably be a good idea.
I think that's a great idea. Pick a table.
All right, the closest one.
The more
Or-
alcohol.
Or not. I
Usual
think
type.
Dungeon would like to sit over here, I guess.
Tenzin puts his back to the wall and looks out. He sees everything now.
Table in the corner. Good idea.
He puts his hood up and smokes a pipe. He doesn't actually do
There's a hobbit drinking beer in the bar.
that. Frodo Baggins!
He is right there.
He's my cousin. Second cousin on my mother's side.
And we have another friend as well. He's running an errand right now, but he should be along shortly. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Argo. What is it that you specialize in?
I'm a fighter. I grew up on a farm. So I know my way around animals. Other than that, I'm a fair shot with a bow. Mostly sword and shield, though. And
Did you grow up in Forkin Fields? Is that where we had decided
my
you were
God.
from?
Oh my god!
we didn't decide, but if it would fit in the campaign, then that would be great.
I think based on the one shot that you played him in, I think Forkin Fields would
Okay.
make sense.
Wait,
Perfect.
were you in the Fork and Fields one shot?
He played in another one shot that had something to do with Forkin Fields.
Well, we did
Yep.
2 of them.
Yeah, there was
that
like 3 or 4.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't one of the ones I was in.
I think it was one that you were
No,
not in.
I would have remembered. Yeah, I
terrified of
purposefully
bands
left Argo's homeland blank so that we could fill it in with
Okay.
whatever your campaign world
Yes.
would best fit him. So
Forkin
perfect.
Fields,
Ridiculous town.
for your information, is a very prominent and center of religion for the deity Forkin, who
Cool.
is the god of baked goods and artisans.
Nice. Perfect.
And the wheat from Forkin Fields is exported around the world, and it's the highest quality wheat in the world, as well
Nice.
as honey that they have from their bee farms that they use to fertilize their fields.
I like it.
They then have
Oh,
child aggro.
All good.
At Fork and Fields?
Have child aggro at Forkin Fields.
They're attracted to the sweets of Fork
They
and
have
Fields.
really good Danishes.
Children,
They call them
just
Forkins.
swarms of child armies are constantly attacking to steal cookies from the cookie jar. everywhere.
Roaming bands of children to swarm into town.
Mhm.
Give us the cookies!
So tell me about you all.
Yes, well, I grew up in a monastery, not far from here, just a week's journey away.
It's more than a week's.
2 weeks journey away.
I think it's a little further than that, but yes.
It's a long journey away.
It's probably about a month.
It's a month. I lived about a month.
But it's such a nice journey that it feels like a week or two.
I could not agree more.
You were wandering the wilds for a while.
Yeah, I wandered the wilds for a long
You're
time.
how you
and
didn't
fell
run
into
into
the
Pasha.
company of Galwick Goldspinner, and he has since earned my trust, and hopefully I his. But fell into the company of I guess 3 people who are not here yet, or 1 person of the original 3 that are not here yet. Then fell into the company of Pasha here, and actually not long ago, it was just about a week and a half ago, that we fell into the company of Thorgrim here.
That's right.
But yes, I'm a monk, and learned and grew up sort of the way of the healing arts, essentially. I'm capable of many other things, but learned from a young age how to keep people alive.
I didn't know that.
So,
Well, I guess we're all learning something new about each other.
It hasn't come up much, but yes. I poisoned Thorgrim.
You poisoned Thorgrim?
Trying
I
to
don't
poison
actually.
him. Seriously?
That's not very nice.
His hand of harm, I slap him in the back of the head and poison him.
I mean, besides the fact I'm a dwarf that's resistant to poison.
If you could poison a dwarf, I think you
It's the poison
you have
condition,
talents
not the poisoned damage.
Yeah.
But yes.
I mean, I have advantage against poisoned, period,
Mhm.
for saves, because
Yep.
I'm dwarf.
But it's
Anyways.
a save, friend.
Is there a save for it?
Poison condition?
are we doing
Not a
this?
save, I
Is
can
this
just do it.
happening?
When you hit them with your hand of harm, they just get poisoned?
Yeah, when I use Hand of Harm on a creature, you can subject that creature to the poisoned condition until the end of my next turn. I don't do it, but you couldn't stop me if I wanted to.
Oh, interesting.
You wanted?
I guess I'd have to hit you first, which I would never do.
You probably just break your hand on my armor.
Chonk.
Probably
It's an
not.
amusing thought.
So, okay. Cool. Yes. Does anybody else want to talk about themselves while we...
Aye, well, I'm, as I said, Thorgrim. I grew up in Idenstone, across the sea. And just doing some traveling lately, ran into these folk. And
Very good.
I guess they kind of reeled me into their little band, as it is. If you
Safety in numbers.
can't- I agree. If you can't tell,
Like a pig.
if you can't tell, I'm or I think I already told you this. I'm a cleric to Moradin.
Mhm.
I'm also a smith, which I believe I mentioned.
Indeed.
To be honest, I like the smithing part more. Don't tell anyone I said that.
We all got it.
Anyone else? You know what I
Oh.
mean.
Understood.
Actually, can I get what's her name?
Um,
Or Blood or something?
Varda.
No, Varda.
Varda.
I'm thinking fucking Critical Role, Jesus. Varda, was it? This is important.
she'll look up and be like, yes.
Could I get a round of drinks from my friends here? Plus 1.
Yes!
So that'll be
Drink!
5 drinks, please.
5? Okay.
Oh,
Yep.
That'll
none
be
for me,
5
Barda,
silver
thank you,
pieces.
This isn't dwarven. You don't understand it.
That'll be 5
Okay,
silver
damn it.
pieces, and she'll bring a tray of drinks over.
Pasha will chant
5
drinks,
silver.
drinks, 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 but in Dwarven. It's ready,
like
ready to get busy.
So the two of you just hear them chanting in Dwarven.
Yeah. I will pass out when she brings them over, one to every person and one to myself, and then just one set to the side.
Yeah.
I will say, oh, thank you, but I
Cheers.
do not, I don't consume.
Cheers, mates.
Pasha will just grab
you-
yours and she'll be like, that is fine. I don't mind drinking for you, friend.
Yeah,
Here,
this
well,
is
best
an
then.
uncommon occurrence. This
You
is
don't-
like the second time this has happened now. With like, I just handed
Then we'll
Pasha
just
my
put the
alcoholic
cup
drink.
down for Bastin.
You don't drink? I don't know. If
No,
that's correct with you.
I've never have.
Fair enough.
How
More
do
for
you
the
know
rest
if
of us.
How do you know if you drink or not if you've never done it?
Well, if I'd never done it, I can confidently say that I don't drink.
Borgrim is just like mind blown, just like the thought of not drinking alcohol
like,
because he's done it
what?
since he was a baby. Oh. Anyways, cheers.
Oh. Cheers.
Cheers.
And he'll just shoot it, basically.
Chug, 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 chug.
Yeah.
I ask Barda for a water.
Pasha will then start to talk about herself. She'll be like, hello, I'm Pasha. This is Bastin. Man, what is those things that, yes, I am Pasha Inessa. My family calls me Short Thing. It was
Your
raised
family
by
calls you short thing.
Short Thing.
Fang.
Short thing. Short fang. Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Yes,
she's definitely not short. I mean, look at her.
I was raised by wolves, so compared
Oh.
to them, my fangs are quite short. It is something I am not proud of. Even look at
So you're
Bastin. Bastin has sharper fangs than me. She'll be like kind of defeated.
Pasha, it's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, you may have been raised by wolves, but you're a creature all your own.
Indeed.
Wolf
I think your
creature.
fangs are just fine.
Thank you. But yes,
Fang-
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I was just going to say fangs come in all sizes and shapes, large and small.
Pasha will there'll be like a smile and she'll be like, thank you. Okay, I appreciate this. But yes, I was raised by wolves. I've known Bastin for as long as I can remember, and yes, I'm getting used to the world of other people. I am a guide most of the time. I guess some people would call me a ranger, or a forager. But yes, that is who I am.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
It's nice to meet you too, person.
Indeed.
Okay.
I just smile and finish my drink.
Okay. So at this point, are you back, Dearden?
Yeah, I'm back. It's just
Okay.
not.
You're getting reverb.
Yeah,
Okay. Sorry.
it's all right. I'll just
Okay.
make sure it's not recording. In the thing.
Okay. Okay. So you head off and you find a woodworker to basically talk about your new wagon you want to commission using the guts of this old one. What were you thinking?
Well, actually, first I'll ask, would you like to Would you like to trade and, or rather, do you have any Vados available? Oh, change my accent.
They'll be like, at the moment, I do not have any Vardos. If you give me a couple weeks, I could probably have one.
Could you convert this into one?
That would definitely speed the process up. But yes, I could probably do that.
Okay. We travel at night sometimes, so we'd like to not be easily spotted by bandits. If you could make it very dark, that would be preferable.
Okay, she'll like, at this point she'll like flip a book open. She'll be like, "What was your name again, sir?"
Didn't tell her.
Durden Teller, Mr. Teller. Okay. Darkwood, conversion of an old wagon into a Vardo. So I take it you want, do you want like all the fixings, like lamps on the outsides, shutters for the windows, all the fixings?
How much would that run me?
Let me see here.
Two important questions. Will the lanterns burn purple, and will the wood be black?
That's a great question. And I will make sure to ask those, unless Tenzin suddenly showed up.
He doesn't. DJ's here.
She'll be going through. She'll be like, well, lanterns, we'll have to get those commissioned. If you want them special hooded so you can direct them in different directions, that'll be a little. She just like keeps like writing notes.
Let me simplify it for you. My personal budget is only about 300.
She'll nod, and she'll keep going. Eventually, she'll get to a point where she's like, okay, I think with the discount from having the old wagon to convert, it will run you about 250 gold pieces.
I can do that. And now, to be clear, this is going to be a four-wheeler, not a two-wheeler, right?
Of course.
Okay, good. I mean, if you want to make it a five-wheeler, that's fine, but I don't really see the point.
Yeah, that would be a little weird.
Yeah, fifth wheelers are kind of odd.
Anyway. And then she'll be like, okay, let's take a look at the wagon, and she'll head out to the wagon.
And can I get either the lamps to light purple, or to have a purple shade so it comes out very dark, or magenta, either way, or a mixture?
So, do you want like purple glass? We could probably see about that.
Dark and bright, one of each on both sides. Bright in the front, dark in the back, preferably.
Okay. So she'll jot down that note. She'll be like, okay, yeah, we can probably stick to that budget. If things change, I will tack on the little bit at the end or subtract from your total depending on the costs.
Sounds excellent.
But I will require half up front.
Sure. So the total was
250.
250. All right. So you need math's not my strong suit. 125. 25. That was in character.
Yes, and that was in character for her too. To be like, yeah.
Yeah, 125. Here you go. And I'm taking that out right now.
Yeah, cool. And she'll accept it. She'll be like, if you would like to pull the wagon back up over here, and she'll direct you to a covered like yard that she has like what looks like 3 other wagons that she's working on right now.
Ooh. Sorry, I was adjusting settings. What was the question?
She's just having you back the wagon in.
Oh yeah, okay, I'll do that.
To her, basically her work yard.
And I've still got Horsey hooked up to it, so that's easy.
Yep. So, yeah. So she'll then take another piece of paper. She'll write your name on it, and kind of like a description, and then she'll tack it to the side, and then she'll step out, close the gate after you've unhooked Horsey and gotten them out. And be like, well, Mr. Teller, check back in a week, and I will give you an update. I hopefully will make some progress. It might be done, might not. It'll depend on how quickly some of my other jobs are going.
Okay, excellent. Alright, Horsey looks to be done, and Horsey poofs away.
She'll like all of a sudden like be like, "Where did your horse go?"
Well, technically, it's not a horse. But anyway,
Where did your horse go?
whoa, shit, hi, who are you?
Hello, I'm Argo.
You're not
New
there
to the
yet.
group? Oh, I'm not there yet.
No,
Okay, I
no.
thought it was
This is
a show.
just Dearden.
Okay.
Yep, Dearden's
Right.
gonna come join you guys soon.
Okay.
Sorry.
That did not happen. Pay no attention to the phantom voice.
But she'll kind of look a little spooked, and she'll be like, "Okay, I'll see you back in a week or so," and she'll head back inside.
Did I make her really uncomfortable?
She just like was like a horse just vanished. Like, yeah. I'll like.
And I
what?
didn't answer her question, really.
No.
I answered her question with a misdirection.
Yes.
Not a missed erection.
Oh my god.
Nice. Well done.
'Kay.
Excellent.
Thank you.
So
I think I
Dearden-
might have stolen that from Bo. Just so you know.
So Dearden, you now head back to the Poach and Coney. Coach and Pony.
Yes.
Is that next door?
The Poach and Coney.
I prefer the poach and coney,
It's like
actually.
The sign is a poached rabbit.
Yeah,
A poaching color.
they do a lot of illegal Alaska bear hunting.
But yes, so all of a sudden Dearden walks in while you guys are drinking.
Okay. Is Argo, not that I know his name yet in character,
Argo's sitting at the table with your friend.
facing...
He would probably see you.
here.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're entering through the front doors, I'd
You like to keep
probably
an
see
eye
you.
on the entrance. I got you.
Oh.
Okay. Oh,
One second.
let me pull the map up so I actually know what's going on. Okay. Am I here? I am not here. So let me drop myself in. Also, out of character, if you notice my accent change, that's in character.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
You notice mine change? It's because I just suck and slip around all over the place.
Sometimes it's intentional for me, sometimes it's not. I
Yeah.
put the mechanic in there so I could...
Just picture him with a thick Scottish accent.
I
All right.
don't use a voice.
Yeah, we'll fix that someday.
That's fair too.
I doubt it.
I'll work with you on it. Anyway, if you want. I'm going to
The
go
only way
live,
I-
just so y'all know.
Oh, do it. There's only one person whose voice I would ever feel comfortable doing it, and it's a track and field
Simon?
announcer by the name of Lee Diffie. And he
Yeah,
is
play a bard.
Australian. I could never play
Nice.
a bard again. I've retired Simon. The only bard I could ever play has been deleted from my repertoire of characters on D&D Beyond, so I could never do it.
See,
Okay.
that's good.
So Dearden, you
Okay.
arrive. You see your friend
Hi.
sitting with another human.
Oh, hello, friends.
Ah,
Hello,
Argo. This is our good friend Dearden.
Dearden. Pleasure to meet you. And I shake his hand.
You as well. And you find that my hand is smaller than you thought, and you hear a couple when you shake my hand.
I hear what?
You hear a bunch of like bones cracking and popping.
Oh goodness. Are you all right? I didn't. I gotta watch my grip sometimes, I guess.
Oh, I'm fine. I wouldn't worry about it.
All
You
right.
want to describe
Fair
yourself,
enough.
Darden?
Yeah, look at my cam.
Your camera's not on.
It's black.
Oh,
He's invisible.
You are darkness incarnate.
Not far off.
He's fond playing a lute.
no, I'll tell you. So I'm 100% in black from head to toe. I have like a leather jerkin on. Actually, we're back in town, so I would have switched to my medium armor. For training purposes.
Yes.
And I have a plague doctor's mask on that looks like a big fat raven's beak, naturally. And I have on bone chains, yes, chains made of bone, a skull that is glowing magenta with some darker shades of purple and black mixed in as well. And so it's basically a sensor that I keep on me, but it's my casting focus. You'd be able to tell that magic is emanating from it. And there is a bone whip attached to my hip. Oh, yeah, there you go.
I forgot I could do that.
Yeah, me too. Cool.
Huh.
I'll send you all the stream link at some point. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Didden. Always happy to make a new friend.
Nice to meet you too. And Argo is, I don't know if you caught my description earlier, but wearing a dingy plate mail armor with a brown burlap tunic over it and a gray wool cloak on my back.
Imagine
A
I'm
long sword and a
black
shield, short bow and arrows.
Nice. Are you going to be joining us then on our travels and whatnot?
Well, I'd love to. I mean, that's pretty much all I do is I wander the country, just looking for work, looking for adventure. Right now, I'm here to participate in the tournament, and I
want to win that.
Oh,
actually,
wow.
Darren, yeah, we're gonna be teaming up with Argo here to compete in the team portion of the tournament.
Yes. Welcome to the group. Or actually, I should say I'm joining your group.
Yes,
Come
so
to think of
welcome. I'll welcome you to the group. Welcome.
There we go. All right.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet all of you.
Sorry, what race did you say you were?
Human.
Human, okay.
Human.
Oh, boring. God.
I know humans are so rare that they're exotic now at this point.
I know, right?
Like, as PCs, yeah.
I haven't played a human like ever.
It's like in all of Vox Machina, there's one human.
There's two. Oh, in Vox Machina, never mind.
Vox Machina, yeah.
Oh, okay.
In the other groups, there's more humans.
I was like, yeah, there's two
and one human. So basically, there's two total in Vox. Anyway, this game.
In Vox?
Vox Machina? Yeah, with the two half-elves.
Oh.
I was making
there's three half-elves, though. So there would be 2.5 humans.
I thought she was full elf.
No, they're all half-elves.
Okay.
They even address it in the comic book where there are two different kinds of half-elves. You know, Vax and Vex were both outcasts, but Keyleth was very much welcome in her tribe.
I forgot she was a half.
Yeah.
That sounded really awful. I forgot she was a half-breed. That's better.
There you go.
Is it?
This game. Nice to meet you. Mr. Human?
Yeah.
Are you human? Some of you look like humans, but then they're not.
Mm-hmm.
And I put my face really close to yours and accidentally bumped your chin with my beak.
Ah!
Oh, sorry.
Does it smell like roses?
Not roses. Lilac and gooseberries.
Fair enough.
What?
Yeah, whatever keeps the smell away, I suppose.
What was that? What?
Oh, that's why you
recognize
stuff
that.
flowers and berries in there to keep the smell away.
It's
If
from
you're
the
going to
wizard.
be a
That's
plague
why you
doctor.
recognize it.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind the smell. It's more for other people when they get close to me.
Oh, interesting. You don't like the smell of other people?
No, it's well that too, but mostly for their sake.
Got it.
Yeah. It's weird. People smell better to me when they're dead. I don't know why.
Well, then I suppose you're in the right line of work.
Oh, and I pointed at the shovel on my back. I've been a gravedigger for centuries. So.
All right.
Sorry, millennia. So,
We just recently learned that Dearden is very old.
I mean,
Oh,
technically.
all right. Happy birthday, I suppose.
well, is it? I actually forgot. I have no idea what day I was born.
After 1,000 years, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and then 1,300 more.
There you go.
Right, so let's talk about this tourney. What are we, what's the plan?
Right.
Who are we fighting? When does it start? Who can I kill?
These
I don't
good
know.
questions.
But now that we have a solid group, I can't wait to get started. Who do we... I suppose they're closed right now. It's evening. Wait, what time is it?
It's probably like middle of the afternoon right now.
Oh, okay, well, I suppose we can go and ask.
Tourney shenanigans outlawed?
What?
Do we know when the next group skirmish is going to be?
Oh, it's 2 weeks before the tournament starts.
Oh, all right.
So it's just a matter of waiting a little bit until the tent goes up and it's time to actually start. So
I think I will say to Thorgrim in his head telepathically.
Oh, sorry.
I'll just a quick I think we can trust Argo, but on the off chance that he is this messenger that that we read about in this in these notes, should we include him in the meeting tomorrow? And I tell him you can just nod or shake your head. No need to.
I know you can do this, right? Like,
Yeah, I've certainly done this before.
I can't respond telepathically, right?
No.
You said just nod or shake your head?
Yeah, I said just nod or shake your head. No need to respond verbally.
I would probably just like kind of stroking my beard, just like shake my head. Like, no, we shouldn't include him if that is who we're looking for.
I run the same questions past me. Miette. I almost said Miette. I run the same question to Pasha and Dearden as well, to get their thoughts.
Wait, trust this guy? I mean, if you trust me, why not trust this guy?
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah, because Dearden's...
I literally say in my message, no need to respond verbally. You can just shake your head or nod your head.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I shake my head and nod my head.
Your head kind of does like a wobble.
Oh, right. My neck is completely stiff, by the way, Argo. All body language is like whole upper, like torso. From the neck, I mean. Because we haven't fixed that yet.
So I'm just quietly sipping my whiskey and
Oh, can I get another beer for my friend?
Pasha will shake her head no response to what you say. You know,
Um,
it'll look like to people who aren't really paying attention, it'll look like, like,
you just took a hard shot and you're shaking your head after doing it.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'll order a beer for Dearden as well. I don't know if he drinks.
Oh, Pasha was going to offer Bastons.
I didn't get one for Bastion.
I covered the cost.
No,
of-
but I took the one from
Oh, you took Tenzin.
Tenzin. Yeah, so I would offer Bastons, but he would definitely see that it, like, Baston had been drinking from it. Like,
Just
she wouldn't
licking
try
out
and
of it.
hide it.
I mean, he's still gonna order one.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, that's fine.
Yeah, she'll bring another one.
I don't know if you drink, but I bought everyone else around. And there's still an undrink one just sitting on the table next door to them.
Yeah, I think after I get a consensus from the group, I'll just say, well, Argo, tomorrow I think we have some business to attend to, but beyond that, we're more than happy to meet up with you and learn more about any of the particulars around the tournament, and solidifying our team through the registration process.
And then maybe we could practice together. You know, get this whole team
Build some chemistry.
building thing going.
Sounds great to me.
There we go.
Excellent.
Right?
What are those Dana? Silver?
They're a silver each, yeah. A drink.
Oh, that's not bad.
Dearden, do you drink?
Yeah, you see me drink.
Oh, yeah.
I just
This
have
one's
to
for
drink
you.
like 4 times as much as most people. About the same amount as dwarves.
Yeah, well. Cheers
He
to that.
just takes his head off and puts it in a vat of like alcohol and lets it soak, and then puts his head back on.
No, I
Yes.
just lean back and pour it into the small hole that's.
Oh,
like,
yes,
under
okay,
here.
okay.
Even
I have like
better.
Yeah, I have like a little flap that I can shove a bottle up in, or a straw.
Yes. Get a straw.
They have just usually made of wood.
Bamboo shoots.
Bamboo, yeah, is excellent for straws. Very sustainable too. World, looking at you.
Yeah. Earth. The fuck?
I mean, the people of the world, but yeah,
No.
mostly
Yeah, people.
corporations, not dead bodies.
I chipped a tooth on a metal straw.
That's not good.
Wow.
That's the truth.
It's the
You
tooth.
can see
It's
we're
the tooth.
We're very focused.
You
It's the
can't
tooth.
handle the tooth.
Like,
So the straw
That's the
took it from
tooth.
you.
no, I can't handle the straw because it chipped my tooth.
The tooth can't handle the straw.
Potato, tomato.
Tomato tomorrow.
Tomato, 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 tomato.
Well, anyways, should we go sign up? Where do we go?
All right.
Do you know?
And if you need any help conducting your business, I'm definitely available. I have nothing else going on until the tournament starts. Otherwise, I'm.
I think it's just tying up some loose ends from our trip.
From the job we were last on.
Fair enough.
Yes.
This-
Yeah, as soon as we're done with that, we'll meet back here and commence our training.
All right. I look forward to it.
So you just say you travel around, fighting people?
Well, I hire myself out as a mercenary, and yeah, see if there's any work to be done for adventurers such as myself, and that's really my life. It's been a decent living. I mean, every once in a while, I try to find my way back to the homeland and visit my parents, and yeah, it's been a pretty good life. I try to keep things simple.
Sounds very nice.
No woman to call my own, so I'm definitely not tied down by any means. I don't have a home. I live in inns, taverns, and the like.
Ah,
And that's me. That's Argo Monarch for you.
still looking for that special wolf, huh?
Well, you never
Kind
know.
of like nod knowingly.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Pasha's a lady. If she doesn't hate the nickname my own.
Think so? Yes. I am woman.
Okay.
And quite a woman you are.
Why, thank you.
Indeed.
As she proceeds to just man spread and just like chug down her booze.
Yeah.
Like an elegant woman.
Quite the lady.
Man spreads.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
She's perfect.
One of a
There you go.
kind.
Right, so let's go get
Jeez.
started, shall we?
Absolutely.
Sounds
And I
good.
just
Wait,
like,
more drinking?
actually, you can have this beer, and I'm gonna go buy a couple bottles.
Oh,
'cause
thank
that
you.
works easier for me.
And Tenzin will shift gears. He will go put his weapons away, because he knows how these evenings typically go, and he doesn't. When he gets into babysitter mode, he doesn't want to have weapons.
Also,
Aren't we going to sign up for the tournament?
Oh, I thought we were doing that tomorrow.
No, you said it was like
We can do it today.
mid-afternoon.
yeah, but that shouldn't take.
Oh yeah, let's do
long.
it today then.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
we
Let's go.
can go do that before we get, too far into a bottle.
Oh, as long as we get back to the bottle, I am fine.
Yes, we can purchase those, and I'm sure Varda will hold on to them for us.
Asha, I think you know me well enough by now. We're going to be drinking.
Pasha will laugh and she'll be like, "Yes, we shall drink tonight."
And then as we're getting up to leave, I'll grab that one that I just had sitting there the whole time and just close my eyes and raise it to the sky and then drink it.
How much of it, percentage-wise, runs down your giant dwarven beard?
Oh, Thorgo would never
87.
drink alcohol. How dare you?
Oh, none. Okay, that's fine. That's good.
He does not drink like a star.
It's a good question though.
It's a good question.
Oh shit! Did I
I
ask?
needed the visual.
Dan, pretend I asked that lady to
I mean, he just
get
chugs it.
Blackwood if possible.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You did ask for Darkwood.
I did. Okay. Darkest. I would have said dark. It's better. Yeah, let's go sign up, and whip
Sounds
some
good
people
to
into
me.
shape. By the way, I
Right.
very much give up the vibe of a necromancer. Just so you know, Argo.
Alrighty. Good to know.
I'm gonna have the hardest time. Have you guys seen the movie Argo?
No,
I
but I've heard of
haven't,
it.
and it blew my mind when I heard about it. What also blew my mind is Argo is, and Ben Affleck looks just like my D&D character. That is exactly how I envisioned him. I'm like,
Oh, perfect.
what the heck? Ben
I'm
Affleck
fighting
is Argo.
the urge
Or
to just
Batfleck.
constantly be saying Argo, fuck yourself. I'm fighting the urge to not say it.
Nice. Yeah, it's crazy. And Argo was also the ship of Jason and the Argonauts.
Yeah.
And I didn't even read that particular myth until after I created my character. It was just a nonsense word I created. Argo.
Oh wow.
It sounded like a brave, bold fighter kind of name.
That's
That's good.
Yeah.
Where is this person or persons that we have to go sign up with?
The Temple of Grumsh, where where the funeral for your dead friend was at.
Please, I haven't talked to Grumsh in a while. I don't know if I ever have.
Probably not. Let's switch
think
you
you're
guys
the one
back to the
still
city
stay there.
map.
Yeah, he would.
It's over in the
That was in
craft
character.
ward.
Let's go.
This one right over here.
Gosh, I brought alcohol. How much did I spend on like 4 bottles of wine?
4 bottles of wine. It'd probably be about 10 or
Cheap
3
quality.
gold.
Like I didn't.
I think 3 gold a bottle. I think.
Oh, okay. So 12. Cool. I'll take that off, and I will give a bottle to Pasha to keep her happy, and
Yay!
I will give one
Yay!
to the dwarf since he asked me for. Asked me if I wanted beer, and I so rudely declined the beer and bought wine instead. I'll offer him wine if he wants it.
She will be very
Uh,
grateful.
Yeah, he'll take a bottle of wine.
Okay.
And these are for me.
After she gets the wine, she'll like
Appreciate
look
them.
at it and she'll be like, "Wine, fancy."
Okay.
It's just easier to drink.
Okay. So you guys travel across town after the bottles are distributed, and you guys come to the compound / temple grounds of the Temple of Grumsh. It's a little separated from the rest of the city. You could definitely tell that there was a tension about it originally when it first happened. So the orcs built a wall around it. It was probably, or they might have actually like converted the old keep into the temple because it was the final battle of the sacking of Hammerfest when the orcs took it. So as part of the deal, the orcs got to claim the keep as their temple.
Nice.
But as you go in, you notice that there are tents and set up all over the grounds of the temple grounds. And there seems to be people sleeping or setting up, like sitting around fires, just all kind of just relaxing in the grounds. When you approach the temple doors, they're open, and inside you meet the priest who you remember from the funeral. This gentleman here. Let me remember his name. Balreg Skullbreaker.
All right. I'm gonna forget his name, and I'll be like, "Ballbreaker!"
He'll chuckle at that, and he'll be like, "I've broken a few balls in the past, but yes,
Yeah.
you can call me Skullbreaker."
She
Go
will definitely
like a bird.
chuckle at the balls.
Or like, yeah, like a bird. You're a bird breaker. You're not gonna break me, are you? I'm not actually a
Skullbreaker.
bird.
Like
Oh.
like the bone inside your head.
Oh, I didn't know it was called that. I don't even know if I have that.
A skull.
Oh, skull. Yeah, for some reason, mask hard to hear through.
What can I do
I was
for
legit
you?
not understanding you.
Oh, gotcha. No, you're fine.
I wasn't hearing the S, so I was just
Oh.
hearing goal.
Gotcha. So he'll be like, "What brings you guys, folks, to the temple today?"
Oh, we're signing up to kill some folks.
Oh, you're all interested in the tournament?
Yeah.
Yes.
I see you have 5. Are you interested in joining the group tournament or the solo tournament?
Group? I don't know if anyone's. Can you do both? I don't know if anyone's interested.
You're welcome to do both if you would like. The highest ranking member from both, basically the winner of the solo is named the champion of Grumsh, but winning the group competition also adds favor to you should you compete.
Ah,
I would like to enter in the individual combat.
I would like
and the
to do
group, or just
both.
the individual?
Both.
Sorry, I lost audio there for a second.
I would never leave my compatriots hanging.
So we have you all
That's something
entering as a
you're in.
group. What should I put the group name down as?
Oh, that is good question.
The Grumsh Bunch.
No.
Not, I don't
Oh.
kidding. That's DJ speaking. That's not
Okay.
Tenzin.
My
The
God.
Decapitators.
The what?
The what?
Decapitators.
Depacitators?
Yeah.
Pecatator.
Decapitators.
Decapitators?
Oh.
Oh,
Decapitator.
I'd
No,
not be
I
associated with that
will
anymore.
have nothing to do with that name.
It's a little bit on the nose.
No idea.
Scratches his beak. That's
The
made of
murder
rubber.
hobos. No, also a little bit on the nose.
Yeah.
I'm
I imagine
definitely
there's
not
going
a...
to be like 3 or 4 groups calling
You know,
themselves the
actually, I
murder
can't
hobos.
argue with murder hobo.
It's a stigma I'd rather avoid.
I mean, I'm homeless.
Everybody calls adventurers
so-
murder hobos.
And I've definitely killed.
Well,
Oh.
as you guys are discussing, he goes, well, Grumsh does enjoy the wanton destruction, but...
I'm sure he does.
There is...
and for
is this
information, this is an anything goes tournament so long as you don't actively seek to kill a downed opponent.
So you can kill
Alright.
them if they're not
The
prone.
killing allowed or not allowed?
Killing is preference is not, but if it happens, you're not penalized for it.
And magic is acceptable, yeah?
Okay.
Magic is welcome, yes.
Sweet. Horsey appears right next to Argo.
Alright then.
A horse with the mouth of a dog looks at you.
Oh,
And
goodness, hello there.
does Bastin count as part of team? Like, would he have to sit on sidelines?
Is he?
She's pointing to the wolf.
Is he sentient? Can he speak on his own? Like,
I mean, not words you understand, but I understand.
as I would assume he counts as a weapon for you. I assume because you fight with him.
Yes.
Him too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Tenzin, I meant to pet Horsey.
Similar to like a familiar, yes.
I suppose so.
Then
like
I don't think you would count towards your party limit. The kind of the rules we go with is, anything you bring into existence during the fight is plausible, as long as you don't start the fight with more than 5. We tend to call it just sentient beings.
Okay.
So usually the ability to speak is important. Usually they're brought by magic, but if it's a trained animal, I would say that's like a weapon.
Does understand people. He knows what you are saying right now. So I suppose he isn't. He is
lovely.
intelligent.
This one's just a horse. And I telepathically tell Horsey to just pretend to be a horse and lose the dog.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Tenzin looks at ease for maybe the first time around Horsey.
Okay. So he'll sign you all up. He's still waiting for a group name for the group. So Pasha was individual.
Yes.
Tenzin. Was anybody else gonna fight independently solo?
You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, I'll do it. We get a short rest in between at least.
Oh, you said they're on different
No,
days.
they're two
right?
separate days, so
Oh,
it's a long
sweet.
They'll
rest.
be
Perfect, I get a
happening
long
different
rest.
days. But yes.
Speaking of which, did we long rest on the way back to town
Yes.
at all?
Yeah,
Okay.
you guys would have had a
It's
long
been
rest.
like a week.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I don't think Thorgrim would, just because it's to Grumsh.
okay.
Even though in the Hammerfast, is that where we're at?
Yes.
Hammerfast?
Mhm.
Even though it's accepted here, he's not from here.
Yeah, that's true. That makes sense. So you're probably still a little uneasy
So
about
he
the
would
amount of.
he would not want to be called the champion of Grumsh.
That's only if you win first prize.
Well, I mean, he's not gonna fight to lose.
Yeah.
What do you think about the name Dullahan?
Dillahand
What is it?
for a
Whatever you
group name.
think. Dullahan. What's up, Dan?
Or are you saying it like?
This is out loud to the group in character.
We could.
Argo,
Does-
go ahead
it doesn't
and roll a
that
religion check
mean
for me.
something?
Oh, my first roll.
We discussed
Ever.
what Dullahan means last week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here
did?
we go.
Yes, you guys did.
Dearden is a Dullahan.
Oh,
Ooh, not
Oh,
bad.
15.
Gee.
You've heard of a Dolahan before, Argo. You're not super familiar, but you remember it has something to do with a horse, and usually the rider doesn't have a head. You think?
Dillahand. Isn't that sort of a headless horseman?
I hop up on horsey. Yeah, something like that.
We could call ourselves the headless horseman. But we're not all men.
or
We're
headless.
not all horses.
Or headless, it's true.
Well,
There is a certain fear associated with the name Doulahan.
Doulahan's fist or something. Doulahan's blade.
The Doulahan's neck.
the Dullahan's
Oh,
Reaper.
interesting.
Huh?
There should be some sort of intimidation factor.
Right, that's what I was going
Right,
for.
yes. That's, yeah. good
It's
point.
kind of a thing if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, I'm the Doulahan's fist, or just
Doulahan's
simply
axe.
the Doulahan. I know that Doulahan is.
I'll use that for my solo name, actually. The Dullahan.
Oh, understood.
But if we want to pluralize it for the group, that's fine.
the fists of Doulahan.
Ooh, I like it.
Oh, I
Oh.
like that.
Dan, do I
Nice.
know the name of my patron in private?
Roll.
I mean, I know that you do.
I know I do. Roll a D100 for me.
Okay. Wow, my first roll of the night.
Roll good. Roll 100. You might as well.
I forgot the roll instead. I put the D because apparently that's what Dearden wants.
You can just click it.
You can click it.
Your mom could click
How's
it.
an 80?
An 80. I think you would.
Cool.
I
mean, after 2,000 years, you'd think I would.
Yeah. Let me track it down because I don't think we'd kind of discussed it, but we'd never decided. Yes.
Oh no, we decided. I'll send it to you. I actually know what it is.
I think I know which one you're talking about. The 2-part name.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. I got
And
you.
if you could DM that to me, because I don't have it handy and I don't remember off the top of my neck, but yeah.
Yes. Let me find it. I don't remember how to 100%. Is it in my notes? Maybe that's where it is.
I'm bringing it back.
Bringing
Text
it
me?
back.
Don't worry
Bring
about it,
back
Dan.
the-
I'll find it.
I got it
The
right here.
classic.
Oh, okay.
The classic.
I literally
chat
just
troll.
found it.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
right as you said that.
I was like, if it takes more than 30 seconds, it's...
No, you're fine. I just had to figure out what channel it was in that I had to scroll through. Did you get it?
I'm pulling it up on my phone. Yes.
Okay.
How about Dove's Doolahans?
The
Sorry.
Hand of Dullahan.
Who's?
Dove.
And who is that?
Entity of lots of power. They're very intimidating, if anyone knows the reference.
Do I know the reference?
He's a pretty secretive god.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll. For that one, do a Arcana check. Arcana? Yeah, Arcana.
I have an idea, and I really have to do this right now before I forget, because that's a thing I do. I'll be right back, folks.
Okay.
Like 5 minutes, maybe. 1 sec. And I ride off on Horsey. And I find someone who sells springs.
Do multiple people roll Arcana there if we want to learn what it is, or
When he
is
says
that
the
only
name,
Thorgrim?
if anybody, go ahead and roll Arcana for anybody who's interested.
I do not have that skill.
What's the name again?
You
I
can
don't either.
still roll
I
it.
just
You
rolled an
just
18.
Oh, can you? Okay.
D-U-B-H. Dove.
Let's see if I know anything about this.
What's the name
Not
again?
bad.
Dove.
I like how we all have a +1. Like, none of us are smart.
Yeah, we're idiots.
This is a rare name.
Bunch of morons.
And it's not spelled the way it sounds in common.
Duvet's Doulahan. I don't want to be a blanket.
Not Dove. And don't Google it. Because that's
Don't
spoilers.
Google Dullahan.
Oh, I
Don't
was
Google
literally
Dove or
about to
Doulahan.
type it in.
Yeah, no, that's cheating.
Oh, I already typed in Doulahan. I did that
Well, that's fine.
last week.
okay.
That's metagaming.
So Thorgrim, you've heard the name like one time in passing. You know it has some reference to the Feywild, but beyond that, it eludes you.
Oh, and I've never heard of it.
It's Sylvan.
Damn.
Interesting.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I don't say that out loud. I'm not there at the moment. I'm going to buy a spring to put in my neck. Because I just realized I could be a bobblehead. And that will allow me to
My
move my neck on
God.
stream.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Beautiful.
I'd rather pick a name that we all know who or what it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm familiar with that entity.
It's something to do with the Feywild, but I don't know much more than that.
The sword of the Doulahan, something pointed.
Scythe is better. You hear,
Dual-hand sword.
The lantern?
you hear Scythe from like 80 feet away as Horsey's riding back. Dan, I don't know how much a spring would cost, but I'll pay it.
Okay. Are you trying to buy like a big one?
Something this stable enough to hold my neck, but not stable enough to keep it steady.
Okay. You'll probably have to commission that.
Really? I feel like they would make those for like wagons and stuff for shocks.
They don't use springs on
No.
wagons. It's like more of like a bar that it bends.
Yeah, it has some like metal between.
Yeah,
wood
those
mostly.
exist too.
But yeah, no, you can describe it, and they're like, oh yes, and like the artisans will be like, we could probably have that ready in a couple hours. It's just some fancy rolling of a metal rod.
Ah, sweet. I'll be back in a couple hours.
Okay.
Do you need any up front?
No, that won't be necessary.
Okay, I ride back. Scythe! Way
The
better than
Scythe
Alright.
of Doulahan.
Yeah.
The Scythe of Doulahan?
Oh, that's nice.
I like that.
If we're all in agreement, then
Aye.
Oh, sounds good to me.
The Scythe of
Imposing.
Dullhand.
Sorry to take
Let's go with
control
it.
of the scene there. I apologize.
no sweat. Thorgrim,
It's good.
were you totally okay with this?
Aye.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like I'm claiming it as my title or whatever. It's just a team name.
Agreed. And we put it in ink. The Scythe of Doulahan.
There it is.
Jordan, the only reason I Googled it last week is because I thought I knew what it was already. Like, I recognized it and Googled it.
I was
Nah.
fine with the Dullahan
Post.
because
The Doulahan thing was Dan gave us
it's
that.
just Dove is much more personal to Dearden's story that you guys wouldn't know yet. That's the only reason.
Interesting.
Noted.
But you don't know that in character.
Know what?
You could make that assumption though.
So what?
Sorry we took so long about the name. They're kind of important, you know?
Yeah. It's okay.
I was telling
I
that in
agree.
character.
He's
to
like
the-
some groups come here with a
Ballbreaker.
name, some groups who have met here and decided to join forces have no clue. So you guys actually came up with one pretty quick. So we have one party entry and 3 individuals. Pasha, Tenzin, and Dearden joining individually.
You're not planning to fight individually, Argo? Thought that's why you were here.
Oh, I don't think so. I will cheer you all on.
No individual
thanks.
fights?
Are you a bard?
No, I'm not, but I can cheer you on all the same. Just
yeah.
not as effectively.
So
I mean, it's always appreciated.
you just
I
wanted
was
to
just
join the
curious.
group tournament then?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I think I'll do one bout. Solo.
Well, it's a tournament,
fight and
so
quit.
until you are knocked out of the tournament.
Is it
Oh,
just
there we go.
like a free-for-all, or how does it even work?
You get put in. I will randomize you all, and you will just be fighting in bouts, and then if you win, you will move on to the next round until there is only one left.
Is that tickling? Will randomizing tickle? Because I am very sensitive.
I will not be tickling you.
It's unfortunate.
Asha
Dude
is
does
amused.
not say that out loud, but he
So-
thinks it.
Just look at Tenzin like,
hey, hold on now. DJ said that. Tenzin didn't say it.
Okay, so Thorgrim will
he will
not
not be doing
solo.
the individual. No.
Sounds good. Okay. The party tournament does happen first, he tells you. We will work our way through that. And then after that, the winning team will have the privilege of being set up so that you will not be fighting against each other in the final rounds of the solo tournament. But there will be possibilities throughout the tournament. If you do not win the group round, then everybody, you'll be randomized and maybe fighting against each other in the first couple rounds. Just so you are aware.
Okay.
So
That sounds reasonable.
winning the group has privileges. It helps your team get to the finale without having confrontations with each other.
Nice. I hate infighting anyway. Question. Sorry. will we, if we die, can we still participate in the solo tournament?
So long as you are recovered enough.
Cool.
But yes.
It happens to me on occasion, so.
Okay. Well, as long as you are in a fit enough state to do it, then yes. And the Tournament of Grumps will continue until all festivities and tournaments are done. It may take several days. It may complete itself in a day. It all depends on how quickly the fights and everything last. So, just so you are aware. But the first bout will take place on the 10th of Moonvale.
Oh, all right then.
Nice.
Okay. So the Scythe of Dullahan.
Would it be possible to get a list of the other entrants and teams as well? Just a copy of the list so we can see names and sort of know what to prepare for?
If you want to come back once more people have arrived and joined, then sure.
Okay, perfect. I will see you closer to the tournament then.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So you guys basically have 2 weeks of downtime.
But I should be finished a week before that, so.
Yep.
I am going to look around town and see if I can find anyone who needs help with adventuring or anything like that. Just
There's
kind of
always
ask around.
There's always little tracking down rogue trolls and bandits and stuff like that. The large bandits have been basically taken care of. The ones that have been plaguing the Vale for a while.
Okay. Well, you guys, I know there are still bandits abound in the area. Do we want to go and see if we can guard the roads from highwaymen and the such? Something to keep us busy, earn some extra coin?
Suppose that would be fine. I will still keep my ear out for any jobs requesting words. They can't come.
Words.
It's too bad, yeah, they don't have physical bodies.
Will still keep my ears out for people who need some guide work. That is what I am accustomed to.
Okay.
But I am down to help with that.
If you guys are doing that, are you leaving town or are you just coming back every day?
We should take some sort of tents and rations and things in case we get too far from town. Always travel with survival gear. That's it's.
I've actually got some training to do, so for the first week, so I'll do that and then meet you up at the Vado when that's ready. That sounds good.
All right, that sounds fair.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually wanted to get some work done. I haven't worked on metal in quite a while, and I have the itch.
I got a few things to practice.
Well, I thought you meant plastic surgery, because you could use it.
What? What's plastic surgery?
Break Tenzin's kneecap.
What's plastic?
Asha will offer to go with you to do that in between jobs with people. She'll actually offer if you want to come along.
I'll stick around with you guys.
Right.
I'll get used to the town and just sort of wander about with whoever will have me, and then maybe next week, after we get all of our city business done, we can go on patrol and see if we can stop some of those bloody fucking bandits.
We did
I
take
like
care
that
of quite a few of
idea.
those bandits just recently.
Inside
Or
check.
maybe we make them
Very
bloody.
well.
Ooh, first PvP
Oh my
roll,
God,
and it was a
damn
bad one.
It seems like I just want to find some work as a mercenary.
Okay.
There's bandits about,
what
so
it seems like.
that's what it seems like.
Wait
Trying to
till
meet
you
up with his contacts.
Ooh.
Well, I'm gonna go see if any of these local smiths will let me, do some work for at least a couple days. I'll be
Oh, my
happy to
bad.
join you all after.
My bad. So sorry.
Did you drop it again?
No, I dropped one of those. Those like hooked massagers for like your back and stuff. I dropped one of those.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll stay probably until we hear about the meeting location. I'll probably just stick around the coach and the pony. But then I'm totally down to help with whatever.
Creek was
after
perfect.
that meeting takes place.
Right.
I need to record that creak like perfectly with no other sound at some point because that's amazing.
That was my door. That was a very nice door.
It's a very
Door
nice
creak. I used to do sound design when I was in college, and God, I wish I had a mic.
Ooh. I will love to pick your brain some other time about that because I'm an
Absolutely.
voice actor.
Oh, nice.
I haven't been paid yet, but
No, that's fair.
Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. So it looks like we're just looking for work, everyone. For the
I need to do my armor training. I want to get
training.
that done.
Okay. You've already put 4 weeks into it, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And you
Wait,
needed.
does it cost money?
Yes, I think it's 25 gold a week.
Yeah.
And then it's 10 minus your intelligence weeks you need to do.
So it was 10. So I need 6 more weeks.
Okay. So you're gonna add two more weeks.
Yeah, I'll do 2 weeks then.
Okay.
I need to do full time.
Okay, so you're at 6 weeks so far.
And 50 gold.
And 50 gold down, yes. You can do a little bit of side work. If you want to, just roll a D100 for me for seeing how successful you were finding other work.
Oof.
26. Okay. You bring in about 30 gold from doing odd jobs for over the 2 weeks.
Okay, cool. So I'll just subtract 20.
Okay. Pasha, what are you doing for the 2 weeks?
I'll probably help Scott's character
Argo.
in between odd jobs. But Pasha will probably also do maybe some guide. I know, honey.
Okay.
I'll probably do some guide work and lots of hunting.
Okay.
Anything she thinks will bring in some cash and will be a good meal.
Okay. Sounds good. Argo, are you just doing mercenary work in the area?
I am following along with whoever will have me.
Dearden's always happy to have company. He loves people.
Yep. All right, there we go.
I assume you're probably spending a little, like a day or two with each of them, getting to know them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay, I will probably have
friends,
you come back and finish yours at the very end, Argo. After I see what everyone else is doing, since you're kind of just tagging along, helping everyone. Hey, Pasha, go ahead and roll me a D100.
Okay. Click on my little character thingy. Bitty boop. And D100. That was sad.
What'd you get?
Got a 10.
A 10. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, it seems like with the excess foot traffic from people traveling here, the wild game has been pretty scarce. So hunting was not very successful this last couple weeks.
An unsuccessful wild hunt.
And your guide jobs bring in probably about 25 gold.
What?
You had a very unsuccessful week.
They want to go next to nowhere?
Yeah, no, there's pretty much like no one looking for guide jobs. Everyone's coming to be in town to get ready for the tournament.
It's bull snap.
So, not much going on. And there's an excess of people, so there's an excess of like other people doing jobs as well. So it's harder to find guide work. Okay. Let's do Tenzin next.
I'll just wait for that meeting that we're having with the town leadership.
We'll go over that after everyone's 2 weeks is done. Basically.
And I think mostly I would probably just be. I think I would just mostly be training, just trying to perfect and narrow. It's been a long time since Tenzin has intentionally like entered a contest like outside of like a contest with his like brothers or sisters in the monastery.
Okay.
So I think I'm just taking the time to take small jobs here and there, but most of my time is spent just sort of perfecting my forms and things along those lines.
Okay, sounds good. Roll a D100. We'll see how much money you can bring in from your small jobs.
D100 75.
75. Okay. You probably bring in about 30 gold. Because you said you were focusing on your training.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Thorgrim, you said you wanted to go find a smith?
He wants to just work as a smith. Like, doing what he does.
Okay.
He'll probably honestly just do it the whole 2 weeks.
Just try to do smithing work the whole 2 weeks?
Yeah, just get smithing work for the next 2 weeks.
Okay. Roll me a D100. 48. Okay.
So I didn't get much missive work then, is what you said, right?
Yeah, there was.
Okay.
Unfortunately not. So it looks like you managed to you're just working. Are you doing it for the money, or are you doing it just to get on the forge?
I don't have any specific jobs to do for either myself or the crew.
Okay.
Unless somebody has something they want made. So I would just be working for another smith, like doing whatever work they want done.
Okay.
Pasha wouldn't mind some quieter armor.
Okay.
But I don't know if he's capable of that.
Yeah, I can craft you armor. I mean, you looking for like magical armor?
She wants to be more stealthy when she's walking, but she still wants to be like protected.
What are you wearing? What armor?
Let me double check. Uber quick.
Is it medium? Because I think there are some mediums that don't give disadvantage.
Yeah, it's medium. Wearing a +1 scale mail.
Oh, +1.
You could probably wear like a half plate and not.
Yeah?
Well, half plate would still give disadvantage, though, I think.
Would it? That's what I was just
Yeah.
thinking.
I think the only medium that
Yeah.
doesn't is a breastplate.
Yeah. Which is, in my opinion, the best medium armor.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
didn't have
I don't know. Can
one
I
in my
make? Can
price
I
range.
make magical stuff, Dan? I don't even know. We didn't.
If you want to take the time and spend the money to do it, yes.
Yeah. I mean, would I be able to finish it in 2 weeks?
What
It would be a
is
+1 breastplate. Is what you
what
want?
rarity is that?
+1 would just be green.
Is it green? Okay.
Yeah. I
Let
have to
me
find it.
check my thing real quick. Potion. An uncommon would take about 2 weeks. Doing a fair decent amount. If you roll well on the crafting, then it could go quicker.
And I'll want to commission a breastplate from you at some point.
Oh, +1 armor is actually rare.
Is it rare? Oh,
Yeah.
that changes things. That ends up becoming about a 10-week. It can be done faster.
Okay.
But
Well, you just want a normal breastplate, Bruno?
Yeah, I don't need it. I don't need it to be magical. In fact, Dearden doesn't even know he wants it yet. He won't know that until y'all complain about how noisy his fucking scale mail is.
I mean, I'm like a fucking walking noise machine, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna complain.
So I don't need it because it's a very expensive item. I don't need it right now.
so, you could start making progress on it.
Okay, yeah, then I would just start on it then,
Okay.
if that's the case.
How much time do you
if she
want?
would ask for it.
How much time do you want to spend on it?
I'll spend the whole 2 weeks.
The whole 2 weeks? Okay.
Yeah.
Then I need you to make. Go ahead and make 14 craft rolls for me then.
Okay, because I have the 4 different smithing skills. Which one?
Which ones?
Because you made me have one for strength, dex, and whiz.
This is for crafting breastplate.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and go with strength for this one. Go ahead and do
How many?
14.
Jesus.
Oh no.
Yeah, I just hear the Skyrim tink 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 tink
Tink,
tink
tink, tink.
every time.
I think that's 14. There's a lot of fucking 11s. Jesus.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
B
Those are some
R
bad rolls.
B.
Okay. Is there a way to do math in here?
Yeah, just do a roll and then insert math problem because that's all it is. It's just a
R.
calculator.
Okay.
Oh, nice. That's good to know.
Plus.
I rolled really bad. There's only 2 that are decent rolls. Almost all of them are under 10.
For example, there is the answer.
22, 15, 22,
Wow.
19, 17, 18, 26.
I meant
Hi.
the actual rolls. I have a +7 to my roll, so it's like there's only 2 that were
Let's
over.
see if I break.
3 that were over.
Let's see if I break roll 20 with this.
Right.
It did not go through. Apparently, if you divide 13 by 0, nothing happens.
You can't divide anything by 0.
Yeah, but it doesn't even say in error. It doesn't give you a false answer or anything. It's just nothing.
It's making fun of you. It's like you should know the answer.
Nothing's the answer, so
This
nothing
is
was posted.
unacceptable.
Does not compute.
Be right back. I just remembered I have purple gloves. I just need to figure out how to turn off my face as I get up. Because this is a new setup.
Ah. Okay, so...
It's my face. Oh, that's not right.
Okay, you've made some decent progress. Let me just take note of that. 231
Is that like out of like a
out of a total.
max number I have to get to?
Yep. You've gotten about a little over 10% of it done, basically. Because all the enchanting and all that stuff you have to do.
And then does that cost money too to make it?
It will cost
other
money.
than materials, but I have some iron that I could probably get some
You're gonna have
stuff
to
make steel with it.
By the end of it, you're gonna have to put 2,000 gold into it.
Okay.
1,000 of that has to be residuum, and 1,000 of that has to be basically resources. And then you'll have to track down a magical component from some kind of creature. I will have you roll to figure that out in a little while.
Okay.
Later. You're making the breastplate that you're gonna do all this to right now. Is your initial what you're starting on.
Yep. Cool.
You've actually gotten a lot further than I was saying originally, but I was using a different equation than I was thinking for a sec. Okay, cool. I've got the right notes down now. Okay.
So how far am I?
You've made
said I was,
231 points out of 1,260.
Okay.
So you're like a fifth. Over a fifth.
Okay.
Of the way instead of a tenth. So you're basically double. Double the progress that I thought you had. The original way I had set crafting up was doing 4-hour sessions, but I just had you roll 8-hour sessions. So I cut the total number in half, so you're just doing like half as many rolls, basically.
Yeah.
So that doesn't change your grand total in the end. Okay. Okay. So yes. So your 2 weeks goes by. You manage to find they let you use the basically the apprentice smithing yard where all the apprentices come to learn. You get to know the ghost that lives in the area. Do I actually have him in here? Oh, I don't have him. There is a ghost that basically watches over the apprentices of the craft guild and kind of just like gives them pointers He just kind of just chills, hangs out in the crafting area. He doesn't ever say his name. People call him the craftsman. Is what he's become to know as. Yep. And he basically comes in and he helps guide the apprentices in crafting whatever they're working on. You get to watch him interact with some of the apprentices while you're doing your work and stuff. Okay. So everybody besides Argo has done their weekly. Argo, you were just gonna be hanging out with everyone, kind of doing a little bit.
Yeah.
So why don't you roll me a D100? Your goal is to make money.
My goal is to just kind of get to know my new companions and get to know the city. So I'm pretty much just sightseeing right now.
Okay.
Cool. RP.
Sweet. If you guys want to come back and RP anything, let's do it. Let's do the meeting with the meeting.
The meeting.
Dun, dun, dun.
Also, how much did the coil spring cost me?
Oh, like 4 silver.
Cool. Just keeping me honest.
Yes, that's fine. So let's swing you guys back over to the tavern just for an indoor space. The Varda will actually close down the tavern for the evening, and allow you guys to have your meeting here. So I'm gonna bring Lore Master. Here's.
We push 2 tables together, or
I just drag a chair over.
Well, I mean, there's more than one.
Oh, those people too.
Yeah. We'll push some tables together.
We could just do this. Were you guys gonna have Argo be a part of this?
I say no.
Yeah, I think the consensus was that we would not.
Just because we don't know if he could be the person. I don't. Metagame don't think he is, but
I certainly don't think he is either. But this is literally
you
like
don't
the
know
first,
that.
like 24 hours.
Yeah.
Of this person.
I could be anybody for all
exactly.
you know.
Dearden assumes people are great until they're not.
Well, fair enough, my new friends. I will go and wander the town and see the sights and have a good meeting.
Okay.
I'll be back
Argo,
later on.
If you'd like to train, I plan to be training after this. Would love to train with you and see your abilities.
I would love to do that. Let's do it.
I will find you after this meeting.
All right. See you then.
I'll find you.
And I go and I just wander around the city and just kind of take in the sights.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. So, the 4 heads of the guilds and guards show
4
up.
heads?
Yes.
4-headed man.
Yes.
Man, we are so distractible.
It's okay.
I just pictured like just their foreheads being here.
4 heads.
I'm just.
I feel like Miette's staring at my soul like, can we just fucking play?
Sorry. I'm listening, but I realized that I hadn't made a mini for Pasha yet, so I was doing that.
Oh, like on Hero Forge or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send a picture when I'm done. Yeah.
She would sit near the middle.
Is that a ghost or is it just?
It's just a pencil drawing.
Okay.
So,
well, I mean, there are ghost people here, so I don't know.
This is the lore keeper. I believe his name was Geld.
He's got the Book of Grudges on him.
Geld seeking stones. This one here is Marcinda Goldspinner. She's the one who is the most powerful and influential person in the city.
Mm-hmm.
This one is the the guard captain, Tenkar, Stone Shield. And then this one here is, I believe her name is Frelda.
Can you do the last one again, Dan? I clicked it away.
The guard captain?
No, the one after that.
I gotta pull that up.
Frelda.
Okay.
Frelda, she's the master artisan, Frelda Black Shield. She seems different than the others. She seems like, from being in town, the people who have been in town, you've kind of picked up that she literally just took the position because there was no one that wanted it. She didn't want the position. She just took it because someone needed to sit on it.
Gotcha.
So it was out of necessity.
Yes, it was just out of, there was a vacant seat. Nobody wanted it. The way the city functions is keeping each other in check with the 4 guilds. The 3 guilds of the guards. And if there's a vacant spot, then there's a power shift. So she took it because it needed to be taken, but she kind of got like all her fellows were like, yes, Frelda should take it. So she kind of got pushed into a position that she didn't really want. She just wants to craft. So this meeting is like, she's very not wanting to be here if you like look at her. But yes.
Okay.
So what do you guys want to, so they all arrive and they all sit down around the tables and they were like, so you had information you wish to relay to us.
Oh, we
Yes. Yes.
My head's bobbling now because I have the spray installed.
Love it.
I clock that, but don't say anything about it yet. I register it for later, but I know that now is not the time to address that Dearden's head moves differently. I say to the group, yes, we during our last job, we received some intelligence through a book that was being kept by the leader of this this specific band of bandits that let us know, well, that they were watching us and aware of us, but also that there's a lot more going on, and more specifically that there is somebody that will be entering the tournament to Gramush, that is going to be passing along information to somebody, and it's information about a primal shard of fire, some sort of portal, and an anchor of some kind.
They'll all kind of like ponder it and be like, well, I'm not quite sure who they're going to be passing it on to, because I think we wiped everyone out.
I think there's more to it than just bandits, too.
Like several different factions. I think.
Tenzin, do you have the book? Can we perhaps just show them?
Yeah, I'll get out the book, and
It's
I'll
written in Celestial,
fully be
though,
able
right?
to.
You would have to.
Yeah.
I'll be able to translate for them.
Only the lore
Tenzin.
seeker can read it.
I lean over to Tenzin and I get so close that my beak brushes against the side of his face, and I just whisper to him.
Bruno, you're whispering legitimately too quiet for my headphones.
Yeah,
okay,
not
stage
picking
whisper.
up.
I need you to please not tell them about my the section about me, because, or at least leave out the Dullahan bit, because people freak out when they read that.
Yeah, I'll provide the pages that have the necessary information for now. Just leave the parts out about us.
Okay.
But I'll let them see the parts about like the Shadowfell Fae, the Lich that we encountered, and the shards and the dragon thing as well.
Okay. They'll ponder like, this seems to be troubling news, but we feel like we've wiped out all of the organization that was behind this. So, with you taking off the head and killing the upper echelons, only a few stragglers remain that were probably not in their bases when the attacks happened. We've captured the spy in our midst. There could be another spy. That is not something we are ruling out yet. But for the most part, I feel like this threat has been dealt with. Investigating these matters further would probably be important, but they don't feel as threatening as they once were, with the obvious mastermind behind it all having been eliminated.
I understand completely. You all are meant to focus on the city and protecting the city and things of that nature. And if you don't feel that this is a threat, then I certainly would like to, considering that things that we've experienced were mentioned and certain artifacts have been mentioned. I would love to take it upon ourselves, if the group would also agree. I would love to continue the investigation.
Of course, we will not hinder you further investigating if you wish. Anything that betters the life of the Vale is, in my opinion, a boon to the city. But currently the bandits, as you say, they actually said they were done raiding after collecting the 30 jugs of Hydra's blood. That appears to be the only thing that of worry that has me concerned. We obviously don't know what they were using it for, other than an exchange of information. I don't know if this person who collected who the drugs were for knows that their partners have been eliminated. We could always, we do still have the spy captive. We could always use him as a decoy, because I believe he's probably the one the guy was supposed to deliver the message to. If we would like to try. If not, then we might be willing to... We'll just increase the guard, make sure they're paying attention to gatherings, see if they can scrounge up any information. Find out who is passing information.
Have you questioned him magically?
He has been questioned magically. That is how we knew the locations of the bases. I honestly would not have trusted any information out of his mouth without magic.
Think with the right tactic, you can get any information out.
You can, but...
Pasha says while looking down at Bast and grinning.
It is true, but at the same time, knowing the truth of it definitely makes things easier. Because some people under interrogation will say anything to be done.
Oh yeah, like no, I wasn't the one that killed Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
Would
What?
never do
Okay.
that.
It was Kavik, right? Your friend. And I pointed at Tenzin.
Why
I can
would
never
you
get his
mention
name
that?
right. Huh?
Why are you bringing that up?
Because
I'm so lost.
wasn't the bandit the one that killed him? The one they have
Oh,
up
I
their
see what you're
spine?
saying.
That's
No,
what I was getting at.
I thought you meant you.
Yes.
I was like, I don't see why that would be.
No, I was like saying from his perspective. I'm sorry. I was never mind.
So,
Lost in translation, I think.
Like common.
Neither do I.
if you guys would like to continue investigating further, paying attention, trying to locate this informant, that would be of great importance to the city, because discovering what they want the Hydra's blood for is probably the only information that we have worry of.
Okay.
It was the same person who was mentioned with the Hydra's blood. Perhaps they plan to do something at the tournament. Although it did just mention the information, I guess.
Yeah. This appears and sounds like someone's journal where they're just detailing their personal thoughts and to keep a record. How detailed it is, I'm not sure.
Well, I would just. I don't want to tell you what to do, but I would be on the watch for anything odd at the tournament or before it, after it. 'Cause who knows?
Okay.
These cults, they, they have strange goals sometimes.
That is true.
And their reach may be further than we fully understand.
Yes.
Can I roll an insight just against all of them just to see how they're reacting to all of this?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Do I have to roll separately for each one or just?
Yes. Roll for each person.
Alright, I'll just do it like top to bottom.
Okay.
25, dude.
There's those fucking good rolls.
Yep.
What were those on the crafting?
They all seem like wow, this is a lot of information. And the Hydra's blood definitely seems to have all of them worried. But
even the one who doesn't give a shit.
She knows that Hydra's blood is used for like healing and regeneration because she's a craftsman. So she understands that it has potential to be something, and that amount has her worried.
Okay.
But yes.
Okay.
But she definitely cares the least out of all of them.
But she is interested in this. It's not just like, oh.
Yeah, the mention of 30 jugs of Hydra's blood, which is how many were stolen, has her. Yes. Okay.
Read their minds. I'm just kidding.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk to them about?
I don't think there's anything else.
I mean, if we're done here, I think a drink is in order. Sorghum just wants an excuse to drink.
The two ladies will be like, I'll pass. I'm busy, and she'll be like, I want to get back to work. And Frelda will leave, and Marcinda will leave as well. But Geld and I can never remember his name. Tenkar will stay for a drink if you are willing.
Yeah.
Okay.
What time of day is this?
This is
This is in the
probably
evening?
middle of the day.
Oh,
Just
so
after
this
lunch.
is like lunch. Okay.
Yeah, just after lunch.
I think then because Sorghum's working during this, I assume this is during the middle of our
This is like your lunch
2
break.
weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. This is like a couple days in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he would probably just have like 1 or 2 drinks with them.
Okay.
Not, get hammered.
Yeah, they'll take one drink basically, and then get back to work.
Yep. When Pasha can't get any work, she's just gonna go to the bar.
So.
And after she feels thoroughly used, she'll go out, and occasionally Thorgrim will hear howling.
How late do you guys usually play?
We just kind of play it by ear. Are you about ready?
Yeah, I'm starting to fade.
Okay. Did we have any other RP we wanted to do before we call it, or are people feeling it for the night?
I think
next session.
I didn't have anything specific.
Okay. Next session we'll pick up and start immediately on the tournaments, and go from there. But
cool.
Yeah. So.
When you've been talking but you're muted,
oh no,
and they can't see your cam unless they're watching your stream. I forgot what I asked. Oh, are we playing next week? Is that the plan?
As far
you
as
said
I know,
next session.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next week, next session. Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
Sometimes it gets canceled last minute. So.
I've been doing better, so on my end, that's not.
Yes. So yeah. So I guess this is
cool.
good place to call it for the evening. Thank you, YouTube, if you made it this far. We appreciate you watching. And have a good night.